Friday, and I am very curious to hear how is Mikey G and Lady Elise doing on this very fantastic Friday morning. Well, do you mind if Lady Elise go greet our viewers? Oh, okay.
Good morning. I should say welcome to you. Welcome to the breakfast hour. It is absolutely awesome. I'm feeling blessed to be in this place. I cannot believe that we are almost at the end of 2025. I just cannot believe this.
Oh dear, oh dear. We are having some technical difficulties. Mikey G is audio is we're challenged. So while we fix that, Lady Elise, yes, yeah. So we're gonna go to the devotional right now and be inspired because they usually are very inspirational, and so we invite you to just tune in and allow the message to overflow you, to consume you, to inspire you.
Good morning. This is day 20. Paul, a bondservant of Jesus Christ, called to be an apostle. Romans chapter 1, verse 1. A Tale of Two Slaves, written by Dennis Fisher. Spartacus is not just a film legend, but a historical figure. Historians say that he was likely a Roman soldier who deserted, was recaptured, and then sold into slavery as a gladiator. While at the gladiatorial school at Capua, Spartacus led a rebellion. This act of defiance attracted massive numbers of slaves, growing to an estimated 70,000. Initially, Spartacus's slave army enjoyed spectacular victories, but they were eventually defeated, and the captured rebels were crucified along the road to Rome. What a contrast to Spartacus is the Apostle Paul. Saul of Tarsus, as Paul was also known, was born a free man and yet was destined to become a slave. Acts 9 records the fateful day when Saul came face to face with the Savior he sought to oppose. From that time on, he served Jesus wholeheartedly. Spartacus was forced to serve a Roman taskmaster, but Paul, in response to God's grace, voluntarily became a slave to Jesus Christ. In the believer's heart rages a spiritual war between sin and righteousness. We can obey the slave master of sin, or we can say yes to the God of grace who has made us free. Our greatest liberty lies in serving the one who created and redeemed us. Christ broke the bonds of sin that I might know his strong eternal tie. This blood-bought liberty I bring to be your bond slave, Master King. Our quote this morning reads, "True freedom is found in serving Christ." End quote.
When you need ultrasound that's safe and effective, you must visit Asai Ultrasound Imaging. They're conveniently located at number 4 Chestnut Center, Smith Road, Georgetown, Cayman Islands. With experienced technologists with over 20 years experience, their friendly staff will make you comfortable while you get your procedure done. Asai Ultrasound Imaging is open Mondays to Fridays, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. and 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Saturdays. Call Asai Ultrasound Imaging 345-949-2454 or 345-938-3426. That's 345-949-2454 or 345-938-3426.
Welcome back, everybody. Yes, it is appropriate for us to start the breakfast hour with devotion each and every time. And of course, Susan always brings quite relevant information. And of course, we thank her so much for preparing the devotional each and every day.
I also want to test my microphone to see and make sure that it's actually working. And I find that it actually is working this morning. So I now want to say, I was talking and I was muted by my own device. Almost, yeah. And so I want to say good morning to our listeners.
Should I say it? Should I say it? Should I say it?
If you feel comfortable.
Why would that be the case?
Because sometimes I say things that, it troubles a lot of persons when I say it. It shouldn't, but it does. Especially when it's true. It's not a lie. You're not telling any lies. You're just looking at things and you're not trying to make anybody feel. You're not trying to target anyone in particular. You're looking at situation.
I think the question is, why would your device silence you? Not other person.
Let's be real, CoraleeKaren.
Now that's a question. That's a question that needs to be answered. Now, I would want to put it across to say, sometimes the devil, this week alone, this week alone, someone YouTube channel just got taken down and was dismissed just for what they were speaking about.
Interesting.
And it's this is not secular people cursing bad words and telling people underclothes and doing all sort of and talking all sort of profanities, This is a person who's preaching about the gospel of Jesus Christ and talking about his mercies and his grace for people and how you should live better. That's the channel that's taken down. But the one that shows the
Oh, 1 second, guys.
the one that shows you under all the cubits and curve of all the places that you can't be, shouldn't be, those are not taken down. Those are fully up and running and are allowed to continue. So I understand devices. I understand the devices of the enemy. I also understand that part. So Lady Elise, this week has been
Well,
an
I
interesting week.
had a similar technical glitch just now where, of course, you could hear me, but I couldn't hear you. And technology does that. And we are talking about um, the idea that these devices can be so smart. Yes, because now we have smartphones, smart cameras. So maybe they can decide whether you are heard or not, depending on their interpretation. So let's
Well,
really
like I say, we are no longer in Kansas anymore, and so
know.
we don't have to depend on the human intervention to actually
Yes,
intervene in the activities of men. And in this
yes,
case, we talk about it in a generic sense of human beings. All right, and we are saying today that we must be careful and extra careful of how we decide on what we are putting out there, and because you don't have to be too careful either, because the people can just make up any story they want. No, AI has gone to the limit where AI has gone to the limit where anything that you say or do can be held against you in the court of law. I see that now. You don't have to be
and not
worried
only
about.
that, how do we verify that you are really saying what you're saying? Meaning, it might person might look like you, sound like you, speak like you, but is it you?
But that's the point. And the worst part about it, nobody cares if it is you. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. That's
And
it.
then and then and
That's
then
the
the
bad
worst
part
part,
about it.
Mikey G, is that the burden of proof now is on you to prove it was not you.
That's after you have gone through all the chaos and
Yep,
come back.
absolutely,
That's after the chaos.
absolutely.
All right. So let's shoot those. We have a few items we want to look into, and we're going to look at them together, right? And we find them trivial. Sometimes some little trivial things. They might seem trivial for some persons, but it's not trivial for others, right? So
Yeah.
let's start. Let's start with the first one that we showed earlier, Lady Elise. Let's see if we can start with that one quickly.
Okay, let's
Right.
see.
We're going to get into it, and we're going to ask the questions. What you think about it? Let's think about it a minute.
I sound like Mikey G setting us up.
Nobody's setting up anybody. Come on, you're just sharing.
All right, so we're
Let's go.
sharing what's really happening in the world, okay?
Let's go. Let's go.
All right, let's go.
Pastor, posso subir aqui? Pode sim, só levanta um pouco mais o vestido para não escorregar.
Epa! Tem igreja, não é praia. Tenha respeito, vai trocar de roupa.
Confusão.
Com dinheiro para dar o dízimo, irmãos, eu tenho que pagar meu iPhone, salão e as continhas da igreja. Você não está contribuindo mais, aí fica difícil pregar, pelo amor de Deus.
Meu Deus, que isso? Tá
Os irmãos estão regando.
Pastorzinho! Você não manda em mim não, pastorzinho. Poder de Jesus. Desce daqui. Vai agora. Todo mal, todo demônio, todo espírito imundo, sai desta vida.
Eu já estava aqui antes de vocês nascerem.
Você não tem mais lugar. Em nome de Jesus, solte-a. Sai. Amém.
Yes, Mikey G, we're waiting on you to explain it. It looks very chaotic, but I know that you're able to guide
No,
us
but I'm
through all
just
the chaos.
asking. I'm just asking the question. What is your take on what you just see? My thing is just to ask. What's your take on what you're just looking at?
If I may, on the face of it, it seems to be church setting, or some religious act. So you're seeing the different scenes, but primarily it appears to be church some religious thing. It seems to be an exorcism for one or for two of them, but it almost seemed unnatural. I'm not even sure what's happening in the last video there at all.
The last video,
or the first one.
The first one. What was happening? What you didn't?
The first one is this lady scantily dressed, and it almost appears as if it would be a baptism.
Yes, it seems to be a baptism. But she wasn't scantily dressed. She had on
a transparent overall with her underwear, her pink peach underwear clearly visible. Sorry, that's not scantily.
Well, I'm glad you said that, because interestingly, I was at the beach on Sunday, and while I was there, a large crowd gathered and they were having a baptism. And of course, the gentleman being baptized was fully clad, was well dressed, like he's going to some function. I was in the water, and a friend of mine, one of the persons, at the beach, she said, "So why do you have to wear so much clothes to go in the water? Why are you required to put on so much clothes?" And so we were saying, it's a baptism. It's almost you're dressed for the occasion, and it's not like you're going for a swim. So we were explaining, we were having a conversation. So it's so interesting that now we are seeing a video. And
really, Lady Elise, that's where you.
It's so interesting.
Would it be correct then that is it your position that she was dressed to go in the water? I'm trying to understand it. I don't know. What are you saying?
Possibly she might have been reasoning in a similar light as my colleague was reasoning. I'm just saying.
How did
that? Go ahead, Mikey G.
No. I'm just saying. How was she reasoning? And then you were saying something, CoraleeKaren. I'm interested in that.
But my question is, how did that end up? She was almost jumping on the bus, and he was very receptive. Or the person who is performing the act or the right. I don't know. We are looking at.
Let me share what you're looking at in a lot of ways. Today's we want to remind our listeners and our viewers this morning, those who are listening on www.flashpointmedia.ky, our web radio is continuing to play. Of course, this is where we are as well, one of the spaces. For those who are listening on radio, good morning to you. Of course, it's a great Family Friday. And for those who are on YouTube, Facebook, and our Instagram, I want to say good morning to you also. This is where we are, and we particularly wanted to feature, to show this. We are looking at families, but the family being under attack starts where the family is supposed to be built and safe and structured. You are looking at the diminishing of the principle of God's business, or God's intent for us in terms of the church setting. We talk about churches. So you are now talking about the buildings and not necessarily people. But anyways, here is where we have God's house in disarray, where we have now persons who don't even know. And I'm not talking about the ones who come for the baptism, We're talking about those who are conducting it.
Absolutely.
Because she could come anyhow she wants. She could come in just a G. You understand? She could come in anything.
Yes.
She could come topless for all I care. That's fine. The reality is the persons who are going to commit the rights should say, you cannot, this is not how we do it. It's like somebody dressing up. It's like somebody coming to into your temple, and they're going to go on the rostrum. And they're going to be presenting something, and they're half naked and going up there, half of them outside the door, and it's still okay. Nobody seems to think it's nobody seems to think it's not fine anymore. It is fine. So this lady, this is just one more step in the direction, because the gradual progression of how things work is gradual.
Yeah.
So it starts there. It's ending up here.
Yeah. And then the question then becomes the appropriateness of the situations, because Lady Elise alluded to the fact that her attire may have been appropriate for the beach.
It would have been fine. It would have been perfect for the beach, because the guys out there love to see the beach clothes.
And it would have been expected, right?
It is expected. I always find it fascinating that a lady would come out and have almost nothing on the beach. I'm not hitting against it, Please, guys, forgive me. Don't say Mikey G is against it. I'm not against the ladies coming out to swim. I'm just making something. But if you dare to say you want to see her like that and ask her, she would think that you are out of your mind.
Well, maybe the difference or the distinction is that she is dictating as opposed to you requesting.
And that's where I'm taking the conversation. And so I can understand. So it is really interesting to see that the willingness to show all of that, willingness, not to ask, but willingness. And so you're seeing this. And this now has translated from the beach to the church.
Well, maybe, would it be correct then to say that we have lost our perspective? Because if it is okay for the beach, then we should understand and appreciate that it wouldn't for a church setting. I mean, would you be going into Parliament just like that?
I had one more clip I wanted to show with a young lady doing something. I probably should have tried to get you out, but I don't think today will allow us.
Yeah.
Because
the truth is that most occasions do guide you as to what is the dress code.
Well, she went to the courthouse. She went to the courthouse. Courthouse, dressed skimpily, just as similar like most of our people who come to the temple. And the judge was having a problem with it.
Yeah. But then it goes back to the point you were raising. At what point the person who is conducting or officiating has the right authority to guide the person, and I've seen where persons who are not prepared for, say, baptism in terms of their dress, but would have been convicted before, assumingly.
So for example,
they were able to provide appropriate garment to facilitate the person's conviction.
So the idea is not with the person who comes. The thing is not with the person who comes as
Correct.
They are. And that is where we must not be, we're not discriminating against that. It is that you have already been there for 20 years. It's not the person who just came in I'm talking about. The person who just came in don't understand or know better. They don't really understand the principle yet. But then if who is there setting the principle for that, then we are having another situation. And that's what I'm saying. And this is not, we are talking about the women so much. The men with their baggy pants and they're showing them underwear, and that is even translated also coming into the temple as well. And that's what I'm saying.
Or it is overly tight.
Mind you, that's a truth, right? And
So my question then, how do you bridge that gap or find that growth? Because we do say, come as you are. We do
also say, don't stay as you are.
Yes.
I just said a while ago, Lady Elise.
So how then can we determine that if we see a video of that, is that it coming as you are, or is it that she has been there? We cannot determine that this is her initial.
All right. God help me see that God will stay alive until next week. I'm going to bring a video for you next week. I'm going to bring a video for you next week, and this is a church setting. because today is Family Friday, so we're talking about the family. And the family
Yes.
is usually geared around the principles of our belief system. And it's Christian belief system in this sense, because
Yeah.
we are not Muslims. All right? We are not, I was about to say we are not Catholics. But anyways, so I'm saying we're not Muslim. And so we have to guide it, we line it up against that. But we have to be sure that when we say come as you are, and I did mention earlier, these are not persons who just come in last week. These are persons in the church, 15, within the temple, in the well, a part of the church, 20, 15 years ago, 10 years ago. And this is who you are, still, 10 years after. Or you were not this 10 years until now, you're regressing to that. Because, and then we're asking the question, if you see somebody, I'm asking, if you see somebody who has been this mother of the church, so to speak, or father of the church, right? For me then, Mikey G, come in, and I've been around, and you see my ear turn, one man you see, I come here, and my ear is all yellow, or green. What would you say? And you didn't see me in the streets, you know. You saw me coming to temple with my green ear. What would you say?
That you're fostering your political affiliation?
All right, okay, fine.
I get the point. But the truth is that's really why we're there. We're, oftentimes when you speak about personal ministry and sharing the gospel, it's about learning. And for those persons who didn't know, and the Bible says that God winks at our ignorance, but we're there to help with the education, the learning. So for persons, to go back to the context that I understood you to be putting, for those of us who have been around longer, we would be more aware, hopefully, and would be in a position to guide the ignorance of those who
But you must
we are
remember,
associated
I
with.
want to point this out to that we are not good people, overall. Good is not, you see, good is not a part of who you are. Bad is a part of who you are. You learn how to be good.
Yeah.
And I always say that lots of persons stand up upright. Not because they are upright, but because what their bad things are not readily known.
Agreed.
Even the judge on the bench, even the judge sitting on the bench, the police officer who comes and arrests, they have their own skeleton in their closet too.
Yeah.
Right? And so you have to see this. So what I'm trying to say is this, is that when you think about the Christian faith, it's not a bunch of angels in there. And we're not going to parade that. But we
Absolutely
are saying
agree.
that,
Absolutely agree.
But if you're in, then there must be, if you see that, if you see me with my green ear, you know that there's something internally going on with Mikey G. And that's the responsibility of us.
Mikey G, I'm not going to use your outward appearance to determine, because guess what? We have known you long enough to know that, boy, things going on in your head and there's no manifestation outside, but we're still questioning what's going on in your head.
But that is also true. But I'm saying, if you see a sister who has been in church for many years, and she's a prayer warrior and all that, and one day she come in with her ear orange, what are you going to say?
Yeah.
No, what would you say?
Yeah.
And I'm just using the ear orange because, and then she used to wear the
Because
long
mine
dress.
is red. Really, Michael?
Yeah, I never said, you know it's a red ear. I said orange.
Because you see my red hair?
No, just stop yourself now. And I'm just saying. And so we have a lady who was there, and then her dress is above her rear clothes, and she never used to wear those. You know that something is going on with her.
Yeah.
And at this point, it's not to condemn the person, but at this point, you could say, with some tact and not disrespect, not what's going on, but then get to know the person and then see where the disconnect is happening. And see where you can help.
But the Bible speaks about that, Mikey G. The Bible says that we're our brother's keeper first and
We
foremost.
are
The
our
second
brother's
thing
keeper.
is, if we're seeing signs that something is not right, the first thing is to approach the individual one on one.
Yeah, but not in church, not in the middle of the service. I want to make your dress so short. Oh, you come at church with your hair red or yellow or pink. Oh, you come here so at church you come and look at you. That's not it.
Correct.
There's a respectful.
It's about doing it, and you know, if we really, it's so disappointing sometimes when you see the approach of those older folks. You know, a lot of times we look at the letter and not the spirit of. So the whole concept is love, and whatever and how we approach things must be in the context or packaged in such love that the person is seeing your desire for them as opposed to you condemning them. There's a big
difference. All right. On another note.
Difference.
On another note, I think we made the point. The point that we want to make from that last video was simply this: it is not the responsibility of the person, while it is so, to come to God just as you are, but at least the persons who are conducting, to provide some level of consciousness to the mind that this is appropriate and this is not appropriate, and so guidance must be provided, right? And
Absolutely.
so when the persons who are supposed to provide the guidance are now without the ability to do so, then something has gone really seriously wrong. All right, second video up. Lady Elise, let it rip.
How much money is in your guys' bank account?
10K.
130K.
What? 130 what?
K. Yeah.
Tell me where you're lying to try to make yourself look good right now.
I'm not lying.
Girl, you do not have 130K.
Yes, I do.
Where'd you get that money?
Wait, answer the question.
My dad.
Your dad doesn't have that type of money. I pay for her food, the rent, her car, everything. You guys tell me you have 130K in the bank?
It's a trust fund.
You have no remorse, no nothing?
Why do you make him pay?
Because I want my money.
So you're using
What do you do with your...
So you've been using me? This whole... Yo, that's not cool. We're done.
Oh, you're just done? So, like, I could take her then?
Where the fuck is straight from?
I mean, yeah, I could, like, I was looking for, like, some, like,
Oh, okay.
You have no remorse, no nothing? I pay for the food,
All right.
the rent,
Interesting twisted events right there. I'm not listening.
Well, can I just say this, Mikey G? I think he overreacted because the fact I think he overreacted. I don't need to disclose if you're being kind. If it's not dependent on whether I have money or not, is it? Is it that you should declare how much money you have? No.
His response was $130,000. Sorry, 130K on point.
130,000. Yeah.
On point. So my thing is, by all means, be generous.
Yes.
She was deceptive, and here's how she. Well, it could be that he never asked the question. Let's put it out there, because it is by virtue of this interviewer asking the right question that an answer was provided. So he may have just made a presumption that he, as a provider, he, as the one who is taking care of her, is doing it because there's a need, not because, and she admitted it, because she wants to use him. There's a totally different, when you look at it, we're in this thing together. So at what point would she reveal that?
Are we in this thing together?
No, but my question, it goes back to the conversations that we have been having. Yes, she ought not to have been.
Remove the video off the screen for me, Lady Elise. Yeah, just remove it off the screen. Yes, let's take it off.
Yes, so there's no point.
Yes, thank you.
I really don't agree with the idea of her saying and actually using him. But if you're dating, right? If you are dating, is it something that you discuss that, okay, this is in my bank account.
That was not a dating situation, though, you know.
It was together.
That was them being together because he's now paying rent, he's paying car payment, he's doing all sorts.
Okay.
That's that's not dating anymore. That's not dating. It is.
No. So are we establishing?
Yes, Lady Elise.
Are we establishing then that in a relationship, a marriage relationship, that if you decide at that point, yes, you ought to know what in terms of who spends what, who Coralie is like.
I'm not getting it. In not landing with me. Here's the thing, and I can be naive one here. I'll take that position, but for me, it's not even about the money. It's about the transparency of it. So he is busting his shot to provide for them, and there's an opportunity for it not to be so hard, you know. And so, for me, it's about, do you care about me sufficiently to assist? I am not in any way saying that she needs to have well, she didn't have to tell him how much. The mere fact that she did in this setting says to me that she just needed the answers to be asked. And so it almost seemed as if she was throwing it in his face. That aside, though, my thing is, if you care enough about me, and you see how difficult it is for me to be doing all of this, at what point does my care for you step in and say, honey, I'm not as destitute as I may have appeared to you. I can bring something to the table. Let's work through it. I don't have to tell you how much money is in my account, but I must love you enough to say, let's deal with this together.
Here's the part
I do agree with that.
Here's the part that gets me. Here's the part that gets me. The part that gets me is this. That when he says, I'm done with you, the gentleman asks her, if he's done with you, can I take you out? And she say, yes.
Yeah, I think that it follows.
And so,
again,
yes.
The care.
Yes.
She really wasn't all in as much as, so there was a disconnect
let me fix
in
that.
the commitment.
Let me fix that. That is really what men have to deal with every single day.
No, Michael G. That is restricted to that lady, and I am so sorry. I would not be representing me or all the other women who are of a different position.
I didn't say that you are like that, you know.
No, but you said that's what the men have to deal with.
I'm saying to you definitively, this is what men have to deal with every single day.
I don't think so.
Men.
I don't.
Let me ask you a question. And this is where we are.
I have one for you when you're finished, message.
All right, ask me the question then. Go ahead.
Who chose her?
There you go. He did. He chose her. He did.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you. If you see a bunch of snakes, you don't like snakes, do you?
I abhor snakes.
All right, good. If you see a bunch of snakes, just out there, not all of them is poisonous enough. You agree?
I am so interested to know where you're going with this.
No, I'm asking.
Agreed.
Not all the snakes that you know are poisonous.
Agreed. Yes.
Some of them are so big, but they're not poisonous and they don't harm you. They don't do anything to you. They're just really not poisonous snakes. But then if you see a bunch of snakes, say at 100 of them, how do you know which one is not poisonous?
Well, first of all, I'm not going to be sticking around to figure that out.
That's what I'm saying. The answer to the question was this. That all the ladies are there, including yourself, Lady Elise, and the guys will have to pick you to find out if you're poisonous or not.
No. There are certain snakes that we know are poisonous, and therefore, by his story.
Thank you, Elisa.
We do know.
He went to where the poisonous snakes are and decided that he was going to pick this one and make it unpoisonous.
Correct.
All right. So what I'm saying is this. The point I'm making is this.
Use another analogy because
in the trying to find one good snake, you will find many bad ones.
Agreed, but then it's up to you to make that determination.
That's what I'm saying. And only one way. Let me ask you a question. How do you test a shark bite suit?
Well, while you're having a conversation.
First of all, I don't need to be in the water with a shark.
The time by Lasco.
All right.
Time check, Elisa.
Let's go to a time signal then, and when we come back, we will definitely do that.
Lasco One and Up now has ARA, DHA, and prebiotics. It's a new, smarter formula. The time by Lasco One and Up is...
It's now 1 minute past 8 o'clock right here in the Grand K.
And you know what I'm gonna do, Lady Elise, this morning?
Yes.
Just for the purpose of the conversation. Let's quickly go to the next video and just leave this one alone. We are going to leave this one alone.
I left it long ago when you mentioned snakes.
Leave it alone. No, I know, but I'm just saying this is what we have to deal with. Let's go to this one.
God bless Mr. Antonio. May he stop cheating on his wife.
I thought that. Let
me. Mikey G, I'm beginning to wonder about you.
But I'm sharing with you. I'm sharing. You can take it off the screen, Lady Elise. Let's wrap this up. With this one, I will say to you, we are beating up. We are looking at what is happening, right? And this is what you have to experience. The guys go to the church every time, the temple every time, and this is what they're experiencing. This is casual, right? This is basically what you're looking at. It's how it works, right? And it's a difficult thing. Well, it's a difficult thing for the guys.
Mikey G,
it's a difficult thing for the guys.
Avert your eyes?
It's a difficult thing for the guys who are coming to worship the Lord.
Exactly, Lady Elise. There is a responsibility that you do have. You can't relinquish that though.
I wear glasses. You cannot relinquish that. I wear glasses, CoraleeKaren. I wear glasses, right?
So take it off. Take off the glasses, Mikey G. Because clearly you see way too much.
Alright, I think it's time for our news, guys. I think we got it.
It is family Friday. And believe me, these are the things that we have to contend with. And I mean, the reality is the reality. I think that when you have different opinions or perspective, it's very, very. It puts in the mix that there are different ways of looking at things, and so we absolutely want to. There's another one.
Yes, let's go with this one. The last one is this one. Let's do this one.
Just had an abortion? Twins?
That's crazy.
Double homicide.
Ouch.
I'm sorry.
Did you get that one? Did you get it, CoraleeKaren?
What I got was that she aborted.
Shoot again. Run it again, Lady Elise. Run it again.
Just had an abortion? Twins?
Where is it?
Yeah.
Crazy.
Hold on. No man, run it again, Lady Elise. Stop it too quickly. Come on, let's get it right.
I think there's a.
Just had an abortion? Twins?
That's crazy.
Double homicide.
All right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so a couple of things for me is that the emotional results is still very much there, and sometimes you wonder if the conversation around the act also includes how you deal with the post-traumatic stress of it, because maybe, and a lot of times we make decisions unilaterally. It's about what's in front of us, but we do not take time to look at the big picture. And for me, I feel sorry for her from the standpoint that she didn't understand the gravity of how she would react to something that she decided to do. That's one thing. The second thing is that she would have lost out on the opportunity. I mean, somebody says double homicide, and that's really what it is. That's my
double homicide. Double homicide. Lady Elise?
I'm speechless. I'm actually reading comments in the chat on YouTube, but it was based on the previous video that said, I agree with Lady Elise. She did not need to disclose her financial situation.
And that would be a female, right? That would be a female?
Yes.
Of course, yeah. And that's what I was saying. And that's the point I'm making. This is what men have to deal with every day.
I still stand by my position that it's not every man who has to deal with that.
I know, because I don't have to deal with that.
Well, I don't even want to ask what your remedy is or your solution.
No. My remedy, I don't have to deal with that. I tell you, I don't have to deal with that.
And just before you get to news, I just need to share this last video. Now, we have been blogging, the Flashpoint team, and CoraleeKaren, you need to be in on this, sharing your activities for the day. No, Hold on. Before you go to the activities, I want to make this point on the video that we just watched a while ago, quickly. Yes.
Before we go off to it, is that what we have done so far is that we have normalized this thing. I'm not saying I am without sin. I am not saying that. I am not holding my hands up and saying I am perfect on this or anything. I am saying, for some unknown reason, this has been a guilt for many.
Yeah.
Both men and women. Alright? And guys, I'm not talking about you who can't have children. You can't have children. Stop it. Alright, fine. So I'm saying, both men and women. The guys would tell them.
No, but sometimes, Mikey G, the act is perpetrated by the men.
No, hold on, no. That's not what I said a while ago. Talking about the guys who are saying they are women and they can't have children. And I'm not talking about that. I'm saying.
Agreed.
What I'm saying is that the guys would say to the young lady, I don't want the child. So you better go dash away, or you better get rid of it, because
or I'm gone.
Whichever way it goes. I found out that this thing, most of the abortions that have been happening is protect another relationship in a lot of ways. It's like a man would say to the young lady, I don't want this child because he had another relationship going on. And then this girl get pregnant, and this pregnancy will come and destroy that relationship. You know what usually happens? You don't keep the relationship that you have, and you lost your child in the process.
Yeah.
And that's the heart-rending part of it. So I want to talk to the men.
And you're left with dealing with the stress and the trauma.
I want to talk to the men. I want to talk to the men. Guys, do not participate in this thing. The lady get pregnant, let her carry the child. Don't worry about it. You'll be fine.
Or Mikey G, don't get involved. Don't go where you shouldn't. So that conversation.
No. Whether or not you go where you shouldn't go or not. If you get the child,
you shouldn't.
Whether you go where you shouldn't go, I'm going to say like this. Whether you go where you shouldn't go or not, pregnancy come, let the child come. Make the pick the bond.
Lady Elise, you need to anchor him, right? The point I'm making is, if there's another relationship, then you shouldn't be distracted.
Yeah, no, but what I'm saying is, we started the thing with the thing like this. Look at the lady a while ago where the man have the money in the bank and him have spend like crazy. And she just, when him say to her, it's done, she just gone with the next man same time. I'm talking about that ethical thing you're talking about. Same thing we're talking about. We're not talking about nothing different. So I'm saying, if she get pregnant and it ethically gone wrong, Just make the baby come because ethically gone already. Left the picnic, make it bad. I'm saying that.
Okay, you're fighting for the rights of the child.
I am fighting for the rights of the child.
I'm fighting for the rights of
not the relationship that you possibly going to lose in the next year or so, whether you have picnic or next woman or not. You're going to lose it anyhow. Not do that. Do not do that, guys. Please, I'm talking to you. If you have a child in the coming, and it's, let the lady carry the child. Don't tell her to do anything like that.
I mean, there's oh my gosh. I mean, to make this statement almost seems like I'm condoning it, but I'm not. I'm just saying there are protection. So if the issue is that, then we're modern day people. There's so many options out there.
What I'm saying.
Oh my gosh, that I don't like what. Again, that's the end. The beginning is not having the conversation at all.
Yes, the beginning. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But outside of it being tri-party situation, if a couple is not prepared or ready for children,
this is that couple situation.
Be responsible about it. And I think that if you're in a relationship that you cannot have those frank and open conversations, then you're not ready for a relationship. So there are women who they're not ready for children, and because the man wants a child and she believes that this is maybe the way to keep him, then she's going to yield. My point is, and this is me personally, guys, I'm putting it out there, if I cannot afford it, regardless, and just to say that, my relationship produced 2 children, but I, even in a relationship, had to make a decision about me, and a conversation was had. I am not prepared to have more than what I cannot afford.
All right, let me go with
and
this
it
one.
had to be me communicating that.
Let me say this then. For people who are having this sort of relationship and they are not married, they mean that if you don't want to have children, you shouldn't be having it. Because that's what marriage does. It produces children, right? So exactly. This is where I'm going to go. So you shouldn't be having a relationship where children can be coming out of it, and then when it comes, you talk about you're never ready for it. You're not ready for a relationship in that respect. You shouldn't be involved in that because it is baby making. It's like if you go to a factory that makes corned beef and the cans coming out empty. What is it?
Your analogies. Boy, you have a PhD for this to have a conversation with Michael, because in go deep. All I am saying is that even in your relationship, you can still be mindful that unprotected intercourse can lead to children. So if in your relationship you're not there yet,
can I say this to you? What I'm saying is, let me say it the last thing. Let me say it. If you are married and unprotected sex leads to children, then something is problem if you have a child. If your child if a child comes from it. So in a marriage, unprotected is supposed to be so. Yeah, and so children is a byproduct of unprotected, and it should happen.
Which is why you plan for it.
That's what I'm saying. But the plan starts in marriage. The plan starts in marriage. Once you did not get married, then the plan for children did not come first.
But then you have to be fair, Mikey G, because even in a marriage relationship, there are times when the timing, for many reasons, might not be right.
Like what reason would that be for not being right?
You could have just had a child 6 weeks ago, right? And
then you get pregnant again. You should not be pregnant because you have a 6-week period. Oh, you didn't have you did a cesarean.
Exactly.
Everything was still okay. I see. All right, you know what, guys? Let's go for the news.
No, before you go to the news, I will share.
You're sharing something else. Yes, share this.
Yes, this feature of the
let's just share that one.
Safe practices I do is especially driving in the Caribbean where vehicles drive on the left when I'm walking as a pedestrian, I ensure that I practice something I learned years ago when I attended Montgomery High School, and that is to walk on the right side. I remember being told, single file on the right. That way I'm facing the oncoming traffic. I am seeing what's coming in front of me rather than wondering what's behind me. So, and as you see, I made the right decision to walk into town. Traffic is trafficking.
Well done, Lady Elise. Well done.
You went on an excursion. You went strolling.
Yeah, so we the decision was traffic, and that's the point. Traffic is monstrous in Georgetown. And, I had a few things to do in town, and rather than drive, I decided to walk. And of course, when I reached one of the places, I was speaking with the customer service person, and she said, "You actually walk it so hot?" I said, "Well, I really prefer the heat than this traffic that I have to contend with. I am not doing that traffic because it's just going to make me miserable." So if you're out there today and plus, you can get some extra steps in.
Nicely done.
I applaud you, Lady Elise. I am so sorry. I do not like to sweat. I do not like to sweat.
Lady Coralie, you know what? We're going to work on that idea. All right, anyways, so we're going to, having said that, of course, our news anchor is right here, Lady CoraleeKaren. This morning, of course, the presentation of the news is coming up next. Of course, the news is brought to us by Asai Ultrasound for all your ultrasound needs, right here in the Grand Cayman Islands. Of course, when we come back, all right?
When you need ultrasound that's safe and effective, you must visit Asai Ultrasound Imaging. They're conveniently located at number 4 Chestnut Center, Smith Road, Georgetown, Cayman Islands. With experienced technologists with over 20 years experience, their friendly staff will make you comfortable while you get your procedure done. Asai Ultrasound Imaging is open Mondays to Fridays, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. and 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Saturdays. Call Asai Ultrasound Imaging 345-949-2454 or 345-938-3426. That's 345-949-2454 or 345-938-3426.
Is making headlines this morning. I'm Coralie. Good morning, Cayman. It is Friday, 19th December, and these are the stories making headlines this morning. I'm CoraleeKaren. Realtors unfazed as Parliament approves higher stamp duty on luxury properties. Police confirm all wanted suspects are now in custody. Major changes to Cayman's immigration laws put the territory in line with regional competitors, and Cayman Airways celebrates 40 years of non-stop service to Tampa. These and other stories are our headlines this morning. Stamp duty hike. Realtors remain calm. Realtors are largely unworried after Parliament approved an increase in stamp duty on properties valued at $2 million and above, rising from 7.5% to 10% effective January 1st, 2026. Finance Minister Ralston Anglin announced the change in November, and despite the short window between announcement and implementation, data from the Cayman Islands Real Estate Brokers Association shows no clear slowdown in sales. Providence Properties reports that high-value sales remain consistent, though one realtor, Kim Lund of Remax, says the announcement has triggered a short-term surge as buyers rush to lock in the lower rate before the increase takes effect. Government says 1% of the additional revenue, nearly $5 million if projections hold, will be earmarked for housing projects for Caymanians. All wanted men now in custody. Police have confirmed that Patrick Campbell, the third and final individual on the RCIPS wanted list, has been captured. Campbell was arrested during a search operation in West Bay on Thursday morning. The 20-year-old had been wanted in connection with robbery and drug-related offenses. Police Commissioner Kurt Walton praised the operation and thanked the public for their assistance, saying the arrests underscore the RCIPS's commitment to public safety. Immigration reforms bring Cayman in line with competitors. Cayman's newly passed immigration reforms reflect similar policies in jurisdictions such as Bermuda, the Bahamas, Jersey, and the British Virgin Islands. Key changes include a 20-year residency requirement for Caymanian status, stricter rules for work permit holders who leave jobs early, higher income thresholds for non-Caymanians with dependents, expanded investigative powers for workforce opportunities and residency Cayman. Government says the changes are designed to protect Caymanian employment, while comparisons show Cayman's policies are now largely consistent with regional peers. From 18 to 92, NICE program puts hundreds to work. More than 650 Caymanians ranging from age 18 to 92 took part in this year's National Community Enhancement NICE program, earning $10 an hour cleaning public spaces ahead of Christmas. Among them, 92-year-old Arthur Ransford McLean, who says staying active is what keeps him young. Government officials say the program proves Caymanians are willing and ready to work, a point highlighted during last week's immigration debate in Parliament. Cayman Airways marks 40 years to Tampa. Cayman Airways has celebrated 40 years of non-stop flights to Tampa, marking it the airline's longest-running Caribbean route from the Florida airport. Officials say the route has played a key role in reuniting families, supporting tourism, and strengthening ties with the Caymanian diaspora in Florida. The celebration included live Caymanian music, traditional treats, and a special passenger giveaway. Aviation expansion. Porter Airlines arrives. Meanwhile, Porter Airlines has officially launched non-stop service from Toronto with flights operating 3 times a week. A new Ottawa-Cayman route begins today, marking the first ever non-stop service from Canada's capital. Tourism officials say Canada is one of Cayman's strongest recovering markets, now operating at 95% of pre-pandemic levels. We turn now to regional and international news briefs. Guyana says more than 600,000 citizens are now part of the formal banking system as the government pushes financial inclusion and prepares to launch a junior stock exchange. In Dominica, opposition leader Thomson Fontaine is warning of a deepening national crisis, citing violence, environmental damage, and concerns over the country's citizenship by investment program. In the United States, the Trump administration has proposed sweeping measures that would effectively ban gender-affirming care for transgender youth by cutting federal funding to hospitals that provide it. Civil rights groups are vowing legal challenges. Those are your top stories this breakfast hour. Stay with us for traffic, weather, and more news coming up shortly.
When you need ultrasound that's safe and effective, you must visit Asai Ultrasound Imaging. They're conveniently located at number 4 Chestnut Center, Smith Road, Georgetown, Cayman Islands. With experienced technologists with over 20 years experience, their friendly staff will make you comfortable while you get your procedure done. Asai Ultrasound Imaging is open Mondays to Fridays, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. and 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Saturdays. Call Asai Ultrasound Imaging 345-949-2454 or 345-938-3426. That's 345-949-2454 or 345-938-3426.
Lasco One and Up now has ARA, DHA, and prebiotics. It's a new, smarter formula. The time by Lasco One and Up is...
Of course, the time by Lasco One and Up is 8:26 in the AM, right here on Flashpoint. Of course, welcome back, everyone. We're back in the news.
You know, Mikey G, you never fail with those very, I wouldn't want to say provocative, but let me use thought-provoking. I think that maybe sort of softened it a little bit, conversations, but what it does serve is to allow us to think a little bit more than the obvious. And each Friday, we are certainly challenged to think a little bit more, to engage in conversations. I think if we haven't sharpened our wits, it would be to our own detriment, because these conversations are often very challenging, if I do say so myself. And so for those of us who prefer to stay on the side of good graces, you challenge us. I'm just saying.
You know, CoraleeKaren, today's Family Friday, and every time family comes around, it's a very serious thing. And we make an attempt to highlight some of the things that have gone awry over time that would normally not be so. And when we ask some questions like why all of this is happening now, we could go back and trace what has happened before that progressed to this now. You know, so we want to bring some clarity to the minds of persons to watch progressions. If you see something popping up that is not normally what it used to be and somebody introduced it, look at the parameters of what you're working with and see how much this is going to affect you later. Remember when we started out the conversation when we started watching television with Mrs. Doubtfire, Robin Williams, dressing up in a woman's dress, Martin Lawrence, Big Mama's House, and all these other characters that came out. In a little while, it subliminally taught the youngsters, the guys especially, that they can wear women's dress, and we have women wanting to wear more women's dress than men. But we have to be careful the progression. Things that we laugh about are not necessarily jokes that we laugh about. They are actually subliminally changing messages that actually cultures the mind and create a new narrative over time, right? And so we must be careful, ought to be careful with what we actually see and hear. It's like when we listen to the music that we are listening to now, they're actually pornography. It's like the music that is being played, and this is not on just your private box. It's talking about music that is actually played on the radio itself. They're actually dangerous songs that have been out there that cultures the mind to think and do things differently, right? And we have to pay attention to it. It's Family Friday, and we want to protect the family, and bring awareness is the one biggest way to actually do this simple thing or this major thing that we want to do for our families each Friday, right here on Flashpoint.
Absolutely, absolutely, Michael. And so it is important for us to remain anchored in our beliefs of what we know to be truth. Because sometimes when you see these things being perpetrated and you see how it is advanced, it almost causes you to question your understanding of it. And sometimes the force with which it is put forward is such that if you're not rooted, it will sort of shake you, even uproot you.
Yes.
And so our aim is to keep us focused on what is the norm, and to be able then to distinguish what is this false norm. And as you were speaking, it came to mind the subtlety of the devil. And I think last week we mentioned it, right? And
yes, we did. We did read the Bible.
You must be mindful.
We did read Genesis chapter 3.
Verse 1.
Verse 1.
And we ought therefore to be mindful that we're dealing with a character that has thousands of years of experience, observation. And so we ought to therefore guard well the avenues of our minds, because otherwise we will get swept away with every wind that blows our way. So just keep us, we sometimes, some of it is comical, but we do not want you at any time to miss the important message that this is the reality we have come to, in the 21st century. But the reality must be redefined, must be framed in what is the truth and what is the origin and the original concept of our existence. Otherwise, we're going to be disillusioned,
swept away by every false narrative that comes along.
Yeah. And also not even just swept away, but totally incapable of seeing beyond this, because we
totally
incapable. Yeah.
And this is not regular people on the street I'm talking about. This is a guardians of the faith that you're supposed to be in, the temple persons, capable and incapable of discerning or seeing.
Yeah.
That's where we are right now. And that's what is so bothering. It's not what regular people do. What regular people do is fine, because they are doing exactly what they are supposed to do. They are devil's puppets, and so they do that. Persons who claim the house of God's principles, when we find ourselves outside, like myself, I have to work hard on myself to keep myself in line every day of the week. And I'm sure that some of the time I fall apart. But a constant effort must be made to maintain that core. I didn't come from just a perfect background. I come from a lot of imperfection and all kind of things. And so I know what is bad and I know what is good. And sometimes it is, I listen to myself sometimes and I say to myself, I feel bad about some of those. I would have been involved in some of those relationships and all of that. And I'm like, oh my God, how could I have done these things? I'm not here preaching to come make yourself better and say that you have never been exposed. But you can't continue to teach the nonsense even when you know better than that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I must refer to this passage as we prepare to get out of studio.
Yes.
And Proverbs 29 verse 18 says, where there is no vision, the people perish. And vision can be can be not just in terms of what you want to accomplish in the future, goals. Vision could actually be the ability to see.
To see, yes.
You know, without that vision, yes, the people will perish. And so the wisest man, Solomon, in his wisdom, shared that with us. So as we have the conversation, I just want to help us to see, that beyond all that is considered norm, we have to stay grounded, as CoraleeKaren said so eloquently earlier. We have to remain grounded. I will share with you before we go a number of things that are happening. Of course, the Flashpoint team will be at the Georgetown Library on Monday. Yeah, that's what we are planning to do. And also, we will be in the town sharing what greetings from Cayman. We will be reaching out to persons on the street come next week Monday. So you have to look out for that. And of course, this weekend coming up is Quartet Fest.
Yes, the Quartet Fest coming up this weekend. It's an annual event done by the Seventh-day Adventist Church in, I think it's Northside. It's Northside Seventh-day Adventist?
Yes.
The Northside.
Yes.
And it usually is held at the King's Seventh-day Adventist Church in Georgetown on Walker's Road. And that's next door to the Seventh-day Adventist Conference of Seventh-day Adventists. And I have to say it. I have to flip it.
You're getting tongue-tied.
Yeah, I have to rewrite that to make it sound the way it's supposed to. So that's what it is.
And then I have to just share this. What is this one? Yes, not that again. Let's let's share this event that's coming up next week. Our own Hershtina from Cayman's Got Talent. She is one of the featured artists here. Anthems of Christmas on Tuesday the 23rd at 7 p.m. It's a free event. And of course, they will have treats and stuff on sale at the intermission. That's something that you can possibly add to your holiday. And so if you're in and around the area on the 23rd of December, this might be somewhere that you could actually possibly check out.
Absolutely, absolutely. It sounds like a lot planned for the holidays, and it's just to remind us it's a family season. I think one of the big things, certainly for me, is getting the opportunity to spend more time with family. So encourage all of us to make it as what we will, go out and enjoy the festivities, but make sure that we do it responsibly. There are so many incidents of accidents and so on. So please, as much as possible, be very, very mindful of your surrounding, because sometimes the accidents does not originate from you, but there are other persons around you. So just be extra cautious and yield even more so at this time of the year, and just make sure that it's a good one. There's so many things not going right. For those occasions when we can celebrate, please ensure to celebrate. And I will definitely tell you that one of my greatest feature is the fruitcake. So I will be in that.
Mommy's making fruitcake. Mommy's making fruitcake for the Christmas.
Yes, we will be baking.
Oh, hold on. We.
And just to remind you, speaking of cake, I noticed in the chat that one of our VIP members did say, I'm just hoping Elder Bennett remembers my slice of the birthday cake.
Happy birthday to Elder Bennett.
It was yesterday
was his
and
birthday.
I sent greetings to reminding him about my cake. Please and thanks.
All right.
So that message, of course, sent by one member of the VIP group. And just to remind you that today Janelle celebrates her birthday. Today
Happy
is Janelle's birthday.
So happy birthday, Janelle. Yes.
A lot of birthday celebrants this month. So we want to say happy birthday to and belated birthday to our December celebrant.
It would be remiss of me not to include my lovely son who celebrated his on the 14th, since we're doing belated. Sean had his 21st birthday on the 14th of December.
Wow.
Oh, wow. We are planning to have a birthday celebration this Sunday. I hope he can attend.
CoraleeKaren,
I'm sure Lady Elise, you can make it happen.
Lady CoraleeKaren, you cannot have a 23-year-old son.
I have a 24 and a 21.
Yeah, 24. You know what? I'm gonna finish this. Guys, it's nice.
You want to fix it?
I'm saying you cannot have a 24-year-old child. I'm just saying, good morning, everybody. If you're just joining us for the first time, I want to say welcome to the breakfast. So we're leaving now. Yes. Of course, we are saying thank you for joining. For those who have joined us from morning until now, we had a robust conversation, or many conversations around many different topics, and of course things that came across our table this week. Of course, we have much more to come next week. I have a video next week I want to share with you guys next week. I really want you to tell me. I don't want to say anything. I want to just make it a surprise. You guys just tell me what you really think about this one. It's Family Friday every Friday right here on Flashpoint. And it's also Gospel Friday. We have what we call a strict lineup for the weekend, which means we start what we call the Gospel Day, the Flashpoint experience, the Sabbath experience with Flashpoint every Friday at sunset, all the way to sunset on Saturday. And so that's a different thing to catch. So we start off that Sabbath experience, of course, with our proof. We are proof of our faith, why we believe what we believe. And of course, we go into the open portal next, and then we go into our Sabbath experience with music, and of course a few other what you call fulfilling thoughts that may help you to enjoy the evening. And of course in the morning we go into Sabbath school lesson study, we do devotionals, and of course we do a little bit of preaching sermons, and of course some clips of highlights of how we used to be historically, where we come from, of course lineage of our faith, where we started. Lots of stuff coming up on Flashpoint Radio at www.flashpointmedia.ky right here in the Grand Cayman Islands.
Yes, you said it well. Lots happening, and of course, I will be continuing my vlogs. Coralie, I invite you to start. I will share times in the kitchen for breakfast.
All right, fine. So
I will share those.
Something too.
Yes.
I made roast beef last night. I roasted a pot roast of beef last night and sliced it very thin. I should have taken pictures while I was doing it. I should have done that.
Seriously, Mikey G.
And I also made peppered steak and all of that. I did that this.
I thought you were vegetarian. Anyway,
listen, I tell you how it works. I am vegetarian. I only eat the animals that eat grass.
With that said, I want to thank the listeners and the viewers, those who have joined us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitch, YouTube, and those listening on our web radio, www.flashpointmedia.ky. We are happy that you stopped by, and I hope that you really enjoyed the conversation. We're looking forward to seeing you again and again and again. I'm not giving it a time because it seems like we are always here. So continue to stay connected to Flashpoint, and all the best for the weekend.
Have a fabulous Friday, everyone.
It's like we're running in circles, going around every day, getting stuck in the hurdles of yesterday. Don't you wanna go further away from the fray? Let's not get stuck in our worries. We'll make our own way. Won't you come outside where the sunflowers bloom? Breathe in the air, look up to the moon. I'll meet you outside, away from the crowd. Just you and me together, we'll all sing better outside. Just us and
You're listening to Flashpoint Radio. You know, wherever I travel around the globe, I have access to Flashpoint Radio, and so should you. Flashpoint